The next board member who will introduce our second nominator is Nadia.
This is how tall I am in my head, but that's not actually how tall I am in real life. Hi. So as Kathy mentioned, I'm a board member here with Above and Beyond, and our next nominator is an established published poet, a devoted friend who still has a crew from high school that he's close to, and incredibly committed to his local community. He's also deeply connected to one of tonight's honorees. If you were here earlier, you got a little preview. So he was her English student for a year. He was her avid student for 4 years. And I should say here that they also each have slightly different stories about what happened next. But I think it's a sign of a good relationship because they each give the other credit. So he says that he wasn't quite sure what he was supposed to be doing with his life. And everybody, including the honoree for tonight, said, obviously you know what you're supposed to be doing. You should become a teacher. And she says that, he was doing amazing things in college, and then he came to me, and when he said he wanted to be a teacher, it was so exciting to me. So like I said, they each give each other credit for him then, after being her student, being her resident, and then now being her colleague in the same school. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you Rohan Singh, who's going to tell you all about their journey.
All right, first of all, she knows what she did. Lying to people. But all right, first off, good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to see so many incredible people in the same room together. It's an honor to be here with all of you for whatever reason we're here for, but I'm really glad. I'm really glad everyone's here. I want to really quick begin by thanking Above and Beyond for having events like this. Teachers I find... Go ahead, give them a round of applause. I find teachers very rarely get the flowers they deserve, so I'm glad there's an organization doing it while we're still around. So let's clap for that. On the note of being thankful, there's a bunch of things I want to say thank you to you for, because I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for all the experiences we've had together. So our paths first crossed 12 years ago. I walked into your Avid 9 classroom. That room, it just has this sacred energy. It's just filled to the brim with, where people really understand what home means when they walk in, right? It's housed countless scared, angsty teenagers while they're working through the trials and tribulations of rumors, what friends say about them, right? And some deeper things like what's going on at home and why I can't make it to school every day, right? With that being said, you, no matter what, were always there for your students. You work tirelessly to forge relationships with all of them, with all of us, I should say. Your efforts led to students coming to you in times of crisis and need, even if that meant they were skipping a class, right? Because they knew you'd be there for them. They knew you'd listen to them. You worked to create an Avid class family that served all of its members with unyielding love and support from you and from one another. As a current educator now, I see the movements being put in place with schools that want to foster communities. Your Avid class was, again, it was a home away from home. The one thing that I've always respected so much about you is your ability to connect with students. You have tons to offer this world, but your ability to connect with them is immense, and it's the one thing I wish I could steal from you. The one thing. I am continuously in awe of your unwavering ability to do that connection and build that community. I'm not a first-generation college student or graduate without you and the community you built, right? So that was 9th grade. Let's fast forward a little more. Junior year, I was in, well, we'll get to that in a second. Let's start with the good part. 9th grade, or 11th grade, we began the Social Justice and Equity Collective with some other... that collective was started with some other great members here, Mr. G, Mr. Brewer. But that collective did some very, very incredible things for all of us. You helped all of our members realize the people we are supposed to be, right? My life is dedicated to work within parameters of equity and inclusion, and that all started because of that collective. And it's not just me. There are plenty of members afterward that have devoted our lives to giving back to communities that are on the margins, right? Or dedicating our lives to inclusion and equity. And that started because of you, right? You gave us a reason to be on this earth. You honestly did. You showed us why we're here. So we'll get to the other part now. I was also in your AP language class for the first year you taught it. And with that came learning opportunities for everyone. Including you, right? We were known as the guinea pigs. She's still open about that, which I appreciate. But things were tried, right? There were trials, there were tribulations. You had plans, you had ideas. Chief amongst those ideas of my year was this writing journal, which I unfortunately left in my room, but I brought it with me. We decorated them with quotes and pictures, right, of like famous writers, songs we like. That was supposed to be our writing journal for the year. You had plans about them. You hyped it up. We used them 4 times. And they were all in the month of January. I don't know why, like, we had them for the whole year. We didn't use them till January. Only had them in January. But in either case, right, that journal was so seminal in my life and who I am. There's a prompt I vividly remember where you asked us, what can we not have enough of, right? I wrote some overly dramatic monologue. I mean, I'm an English major, went to college for it, right? About clouds, right? As an avid hater of the winter season, I don't know why I wrote about clouds, but it happened, right? But in any case, my poems and the stuff I write about today are littered about things about the cosmos, right? So my love for writing and the freedom I have for it began with that mistake, as I call it, with you, right? Your ability to impact students is profound and at times feels supernatural because you have a way of impacting us without even realizing it happened. Right, I'm in the unique position of a person that was taught by you, learned from you as a resident teacher, and now I'm learning from you all over again as your peer at the very school where our paths first crossed. As full circle as that moment is for us, I'm under no false pretenses about how instrumental you were in the linear progress of who I am as an individual. Without your guidance, I wouldn't be who I am today, right? I wouldn't be the college student or graduate that I am. I wouldn't have made it through my first spoken word performance or the second one without you. I wouldn't have struggled, or I would have struggled more in my teacher prep program if it wasn't for you. And I would be even more lost in the ocean that is being a first-year teacher if you weren't the ever-present lighthouse bringing light to the cliffside, which you do for each and every student you encounter. The fact that there is a litany of students that can make this same speech with their own stories and inside jokes with you speaks to how loved and how impactful you've been to so many of us. My respect and admiration has only grown for you now that I'm also a teacher. I can't even begin to fathom all that you do for your students while also being a student in a college program and balancing life as an integral member of your family and friend units. All while being only slightly, super slightly, over the age of 29. It's commendable, really. They say it takes a village to raise one person, but you're the special soul that's managed to raise village after village for the betterment of our world. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done and have done. I respect you immensely, and I'm beyond blessed to have the opportunity to learn from you and with you. To close, I want to offer you the same energy, kindness, and love you offer all of us at the end of each class. I want you to go forth and have a wonderful day. Share a lot, learn a lot, love a lot, and most importantly, which I didn't get, you added this later, but it's all good, we'll talk about that later. Continue being a blessing to others because the world desperately needs people like you. Thank you.
Never know the impact like you're gonna have on students. Rohan's been with me for a long time. I still remember him in 9th grade Avid. He had little glasses. He was so cute. I remember that. He was one of the more serious students in class. Always eager to learn, always wanting to be the top of whatever he was doing. And yes, he's right. He was my first year AP Lang and Comp student, and so that was a mess. It really was. I'm sorry about that journal. I had good ideas that we were going to write every day and write. And then he showed it. Yeah. Then I saw. I said, "Oh my God! I guess I didn't follow through on that." I am just so blessed and honored to be here today. I want to start off by saying thank you to the foundation for deeming me worthy to receive this recognition. Thank you. And I wholeheartedly accept it for many of the other teachers who are doing the work in similar schools who do not get recognized, because there are so many of us who don't. Yeah. Thank you. Also, I'm here because of a woman who's not here. My mother passed almost 10 years ago. She raised me and my sister by herself. I'm in Oakland. Although she graduated from high school, never went to college, she knew the importance of my sister and I going to college. And she stressed education and demanded excellence. So that demand often came with just say she demanded excellence. We'll just say she demanded excellence. So there are several people I want to thank for being my crew and have supported me through my journeys. So I'm going to start with Norma, Samra, and Charn Sandhu. Sorry, I messed up his name on the name tag. She has been in my corner since I started teaching. And as a lawyer, she's come to my class several times, my AVID class, to talk to them about the profession, about being a lawyer. And she even ran them through a simulation. Remember that, Norma? When you would say, okay, these are the facts of the case, and what would you do? And so that was so important for my kids who, I teach at a Title I school, and they don't really have experiences with many careers. So I make sure I bring those careers into the classroom. So thank you for that. And then I have Robert Brewer. I've known him for 19 years, ever since I started at Florence High. He has been my brother from another mother, right? We have walked this journey, ups and downs, with our social justice and equity collective, doing the work before it became really a popular thing to do. So now our district has a commitment to DEI, but that was not the case when we were doing our work with social justice and equity, right? And then I have soon to be Dr. Ruben Gonzalez. He came in. Did you work 6 years, Ruben? 6 years at Florence as an English teacher, and then he left us to go to Stanford, where he's working his PhD in education, language. What is it? Equity? What is it?
All the acronyms.
Okay. So in a couple years, he will be Dr. Ruben Gonzalez. Yep. Then I have I have 3 children. My son is in here, and I have my beautiful, intelligent daughters who motivate me every day. Camille was the first to receive her master's, and then Iris got her master's. And then I decided, well, shoot, I'm going to be an Anderson woman. I'm going to do it, too. So I just got my master's in May in English. Thank you. And then last but not least is my husband, Malcolm Anderson. Stand up, Mal. He deserves all the recognition. We've been together for 40 years. And I know it has been an adventure because I'm just that kind of woman. So he's been with me the whole time, holding me down. So Malcolm, I really appreciate you, and I love you. Okay. So, in closing, again, thank you all for being here and celebrating us new honorees, and I look forward to coming back next year. Thank you.